Whoa, what it do? It's your favorite couple, and you already know we keeping it real.
And keeping it together.
I'm Hot Boy Turk.
And I'm E-Money.
And this is Make Love, Make Money Podcast. You dig?
With so much of y'all lives being played out, because both of y'all are stars on Love and Hip Hop reality show. With so much of y'all lives playing out loud on TV, do y'all think this is hurting y'all or helping y'all, or like a mixture of both?
So, I'll say this. Do you have a friend? Do y'all have a friend or somebody that you know that, like, they were like, I could be on Love and Hip Hop, and you be like, you ain't ready for that.
Right.
You got, it's like you're not advanced. It's like you be thinking to yourself, like, bro, you ain't ready for that. You ain't advanced, and you ain't there, right? And you think that about that person, right? Why you had that opinion is why you had that opinion. Here's the correlation. It's like if you take a child that you think is a little, let's say, slow, and you drop them off in an environment that is not slow. It is fast paced. Do you think that child will catch up eventually?
Depends.
9 times out of 10, you will. It's of human nature to adapt, even animals.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Even bacteria.
Yeah.
You know, a bacteria will be like, oh, okay, they using that type of medicine, morph into some stronger shit. You be like, oh, shit.
Right.
Right? So as a human, what happens, our lives has because it has been plastered on screens for so long, because it has been plastered all over the media. Sometimes in our lives, we get a true assessment of who we are, who people think we are, where we are, where people think we are. You get the true assessment of it.
Right.
And if you notice, most companies, businesses, unions, that can look and can compare and contrast and watch their business as it fluctuates up or down, right? They're gonna be the most successful because you can see where the changes need to be made. You can see where the improvements are needed. You can see, hey, this item is booming.
Yeah.
Give them more.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, we put too much in this item. Shit ain't selling. Pull it back. Put it on clearance. Get that liquidated. Get the money back. Turn them up back over and put it into this product.
Boy, no sales.
So in our life, just to bring it together, bring it in for y'all, sometimes we sit back and we talk. And I said, baby, well, I think this would damage this and that. I said, well, not necessarily, because this is people who respect you for you standing on what you stand on. Well, I don't want you to do this job because I feel like doing that, it makes it look like you don't care. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. So somewhere in there, we start to adapt. You start to evolve. And I'm evolving. She's evolving. We're evolving at a quicker pace than the average person who thinks they're doing great. And we're being paid. So when somebody get to talking that crazy shit about, I'll be like, well, you know what? I pray that you're being paid for anything you're going through, good or bad.
Good or bad.
And if you're not, try not to judge this, because if nothing else, you walk away. A lot of times when people walk away in relationships, they walk away in the red, in the negative. Oh, you fucked my credit up. Oh, you wrecked this. We lost the house. You walk away with a deficit.
Right.
At least we walk away with a surplus
Love it.
of knowledge, experience, some credibility, and some coins.
Even.
Right. And
Even, I love
so
it.
it makes sense.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, Kendra, I want to know, how do you really feel about Joc's past being aired out all over TV?
I feel like, honestly, it is what it is, and I would much rather have found or been able to see on TV that, as opposed to not knowing his, like if he was on a TV show and it wasn't like reality TV show, like it was like a scripted series or something, then it'd be like, oh, well, you don't know because he play a character in that, but his real life is this. So when I first, because I'm not gonna date myself, but I am a fan of his music, and you know, before I even knew I was gonna meet him. I was listening to his music in high school, college, and stuff. So,
Because you start reminiscing on your time.
I'm sorry.
About his past being aired. But
how do you really feel?
I feel like I'm glad I was able to see it. But when I first met him, I thought like maybe I would kind of be embarrassed or whatever. But it didn't end up feeling like that. When I fell for him, I'm just like, I don't care. I'm like, shit. I was always thinking
even
like,
if you get my background, right?
Even
if you get my background.
Let me say this right quick.
Before, go ahead.
Jocel is a great person. So, you take people how you find them. In the law, we call it the eggshell plaintiff. If you go slap somebody upside the head and their head fall off, you're liable for that and you're going to get sued, you know. And you didn't know he had a loose neck, but you shouldn't have touched him anyway because you shouldn't do that. So, you take people how you find them.
So do I got a loose neck? What you saying?
He's always treated
Good analysis.
Me, from the inception, he's
you
always
might got a loose neck.
respected me. He's always treated me well.
Yeah.
And we've had our rough moments, but I've just always felt the necessary amounts of love I needed to feel from him. So when I was able to feel that and experience that, I didn't care about what they was talking about. I didn't care about how many kids he had, how many baby mamas he had. I was just like, I like him, and this is what I'm gonna do.
I love it.
So I wanted to. We're gonna switch gears just a little bit.
So I want the,
Come on. Yeah.
My dog.
Whatever. I want to switch gears just a little bit into social media and y'all's friends. Now, lately we've been seeing, being that Joc is a rapper, we've been seeing so much stuff going on with these rappers going to jail, getting caught in cases, RICOs, murder charges, and a lot of times it's their friends. Like I think the most recent is like Yella Beezy or somebody, How do y'all have any input on the people that are around your significant others? Like if you see somebody, you may feel like, Joc, I don't know about you. You might not be doing nothing illegal. I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't know about him. I don't think he's, a good friend. I don't think he has your best interest in mind. Will you tell him that, and will you listen?
That's a good question.
Yeah, if I feel like that, I'm definitely gonna tell him because that's urgent. Like, you know what I mean? Anything that happens to him happens to me. So it's like he is my rib. So if I feel like somebody moving funny, I'm gonna point it out. I don't care how cool I am with the person. I'm gonna be like, I seen this, I heard this. I ain't gonna never withhold nothing. I don't care who it is. I do not care who it is. And so, answer what you.
I mean, you already know. I just told you earlier
I think you
when we
would.
talked about somebody concerned. You different from being married. I mean, it's just like with you going to college to be an attorney. Somewhere in there you had to buckle down. Somewhere in there you had to say, I don't have time for these distractions. A lot of times in there you had to say, no, I'm not interested. A lot of times you had to say, yeah, but I'd rather do it the right way. You understand what I'm saying? That's who you are as a person, and you're not afraid to be that. So with me, I am very much the same way. I was a kid, like people always say, Joc, man, yeah, man, but you ain't no real street nigga. You like a good guy. And I be saying to myself,
you just don't know.
and it dawns on me every time, like. And in the rap world, somebody say you ain't do a good job of laying down your foundation for who you are in the streets or was in the streets. And I think I did an amazing job at keeping that goddamn shit sealed. Yeah. Because I don't understand why we so big of fans of niggas who done got knocked, who done got busted, who done
dumb shit.
And we praise them. It's almost we only really praise them because you survived.
Yeah.
And you did, and certain things didn't happen. You didn't get considered a snitch, but you made it out alive. You came back home alive. You didn't snitch. You came home still a man. You got back on and got some money. Because that's the only part of what you're commending. I'm not commending you because you went down for 50 bricks, nigga. That shit don't mean nothing to me.
It don't make no sense.
That shit ain't putting no food on my table. That shit ain't moving. It ain't moving our our culture along no further. It ain't advancing us no more. Like, nigga, that shit putting us more in the hole. So I ain't never been no nigga to just truly just have to glorify the dumb shit we do. But because I understand who I am, what I come from, where I come from, I don't sit here and just take shots at my brethren for their shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. So when it comes to my homies who be out here in these streets, I ain't gotta tell them. They already know I ain't with that shit.
Exactly.
She don't gotta tell me. I don't really, cause I'm gonna already be like, baby, what you think about this person? Because I want to know, is she on point?
Exactly.
I won't even tell her about somebody. I just want to see if she reading the engine. And then she be like, I don't know, he's a little shiesty, my nigga.
Exactly.
I don't trust
You on point.
nobody.
Because I need to know how you only as strong as your weakest link.
Man.
If I'm the weakest link, she only as strong as me.
Exactly.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
I love it. Real make love, make money shit, man, you know. So I want to know, and the people want to know, like,
What up?
you know, some things be on camera and we'll act a certain way, but when the cameras are off and we have disagreements, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all really handle disagreements off the camera and keep it 1,000?
Well, I think Jaceel he always tries to diffuse it, or even if he like sees this coming up on an argument, or not even an argument, but just a change in my voice pitch or whatever, he'll be like, okay, listen, like, it's not even like, just calm down, this and that. Like, he tries to do, you know, play peacemaker, and I try to do that now. Like, when I used to be just real fiery, and it's not
Seem
funny.
like she me,
you
and
know,
Joc
but
is you.
we've been working on that over the years, just the communication part, how you say stuff.
Yes, sir.
Just,
Because you'll go off the handle.
yeah, I will sometimes, you know.
But that is what balance looks like.
yeah.
Balance is, I mean,
Not too damn fools.
let me keep it a buck.
Yeah.
With your car motor, I take it from old to new with the car motor, right? You can't, your car don't just run on gas.
Yeah.
It's the fire combusts the gas, but it got to let the goddamn exhaust out, and they got to bring air back in with more gas. It's a balance. I can't just boom, 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 boom. No, you got to let the exhaust out. So it's a balance. It works hand in hand. Right now, the new cars, ain't no engine in it. It's a motor. Negative and the positive. Make that motherfucker turn.
Yeah.
With the power. See what I'm saying? It's a balance. That's why, like, you would say me and her, like, y'all, because a me and another me, we might not work.
Ain't gonna work.
Ain't gonna
And
work.
same thing.
Her and another her, they gonna kill each other.
Yeah, we gonna be, it's all over with.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so,
man, I love it.
in all
I love
actuality,
it.
sometimes you know what I've stopped doing? I've stopped trying to say I could see the end of a scenario because I'm familiar with the beginning of it. That has just come to me recently in the past couple months of my life. Because sometimes we'll see something and say, "Oh, I know how this gonna end. I done seen this," and we'll start making our transitions
Based on
that, right?
Yes, really.
Based on how I done seen it play out so many times. We done seen a lot of ball players make it to the top.
Yeah.
When you see a ball player doing something, you say, "Oh, that's gonna be a Michael Jordan. He gonna be a Kobe." How many of those cats didn't turn out to be who we thought they was gonna be?
I know.
How many of us looked at the beginning of that one of those players in life and were like, "Yeah, did he turn out to be goddamn
Yeah.
that guy?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So many people argued about LeBron, who's better, him or Michael Jordan. Well, guess what? You thought that it would just play out one day, LeBron would retire, and it'd be the argument that all people always had. But nobody thought that they would end the argument where Michael Jordan ain't made as many points as LeBron. We didn't know that would come about. At the 47,000 point more, 45,000 point more, and to now the 50,000 point more. We did not know that would happen. So you got to stop telling yourself you know how something's going to play out just because you've seen the beginning of this scenario before.
Tortoise in the hair, same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we get into it, I've come to the realization that God allows us all to learn through everything we do. So I sit back. That's why I'll be like, it piss off even more.
That's how he be.
Say what now?
Yeah.
Because she started treating like I'm being interrogated.
Yeah.
Or like I'm in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And because I know that's her world and how she
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm
what
gonna
she
let her cook.
do.
I let her cook. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Then I'll be
Yeah.
like, hey, just you want to piss off.
Yeah.
You know that petty shit you asked about? I'm like, that doesn't even make sense, counsel.
Yeah. Shots. Yeah. I like it.
making me mad. I be
That's
so
my
mad.
petty moment.
Yeah.
I be so mad.
But in
Don't
reality,
make
even on
sense,
TV,
counsel.
you said
Crazy.
the difference because on TV, I still always try to remain cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate her when she takes the time to hear herself. Sometimes it don't happen all the time, but it does happen when she'll hear herself. She'll regroup. That's how
Let's go, man.
because it's like a
That's
really?
crazy. And that
Yeah.
was not scripted, y'all.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's just one of those things that happens, man.
That's crazy.